Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. In this video today, I wanted to talk a little bit about some trash talk, some drama, and storylines that are going on behind the scenes and on Twitter right now in the LEC. Obviously, we know, and I already talked a little bit about this week, that G2 and Fnatic just played a playoff series this past weekend, and that was fun, that was exciting. It wasn't that close of a series, it wasn't that interesting of a series. I think Fnatic really proved, at least on that day, that they were the better team than G2. I don't think they left a lot of doubt in many people's minds. I think they, established that there's a pretty clear gap between them and G2. Now it'll be interesting to see where G2 slots in as, the second, third, fourth, fifth best team in the LEC. Who knows exactly what's going to happen. But it also leads us into the next bit of storylines and the next big matchup, the next trash talk and everything that's coming. And that's obviously G2 against Vitality, G2 against Perks in this coming weekend. So we're kind of sandwiched in between these two very, very interesting matchups, and we're going to be just talking about some of the trash talk and all of that that's going on with that right now. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that so much. Those extra likes really help boost up the videos in the YouTube algorithm. It helps get them pushed out to more and more people, and that would be just great. I'm trying to get my videos out to more people, trying to run the numbers up. That would be awesome. And of course, subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content so you guys don't miss out on anything we got going on in the near future. With that being said, let's get right into this. Like I said, I know we've gone over this stuff a little bit, but I'll pull it up again. We have this series between Fnatic and G2 that just went down. Obviously, first game, Wunder kind of 4-3-7. He has an okay NAR, or this is the last game actually. 4-3-7. He has a decent NAR game. Wunder 6-6-6 on Camille. Obviously nothing too crazy, kind of a lot of deaths. But he did all right. Game 2, 0-1-1. Nothing too crazy there from Wunder 3-3-9. He had a kind of a quiet series. He's had overall kind of a quiet split for Fnatic. He's been, their weak side for the most part. He's playing a lot of tanks. He's playing, I know there was a stretch where he played like a bunch of Gragas games in a row. Even in this series, he's got an Ornn, he's got a Gnar, Camille, Jace, he can play pretty much everything, and I think that's what's really nice about Wunder. When he's in form, he can play everything at a world caliber level, but even when he's maybe out of form like he's been for the last season or two, he's still super reliable, and he can still give you a ton of flexibility and everything. So obviously Fnatic wins 3-1. Fnatic has Wunder ex-G2 member, so, there's just going to be some trash talk and stuff baked in. But he took to Twitter, and he let G2 know right away. Wunder, honestly, has one of the better Twitter accounts in all of esports. Perks, really good on Twitter. Wunder, very good on Twitter as well. And it seems like he doesn't tweet that often, but when he does, he gets a ton of likes. He's always dropping bangers. And he tweeted this, G2 looking weaker than 2021. Maybe it's just stage nerves from their new players. #Wreckin' Crew. So not only is this saying 2021 G2 is better than 2022, it's also calling out some of their new and younger players, which when I was looking at Reddit and Twitter and everything after the series, there was a lot of people not that impressed with Flockhead and how he played overall in the series. I think people were pretty excited about BB. I think people are happy enough with Targamas. And Yankos and Caps, even though they had a quiet series, they have a ton of fans. They have a ton of people who are always going to back them up and support them, kind of for better or for worse. But Flockhead was really catching a lot of the flame from the community and everything. And I think some of that, I'll say a lot of that, I think, is actually rightfully so. I don't think Flockhead has been that impressive. But then, yes, that's what's even crazier is that, hey, he's replacing Reckless. And then from this tweet, we got this whole kind of banger of everything going on. We had Mickey coming in. He's replying Wreckin' Crew, ex-G2 member. We have Reckless himself saying Wreckin' Crew. It's like, the whole old G2 squad is banding together with Wunder and Fnatic taking down G2. They're having this little reunion, and they're celebrating, G2, this team that they kind of feel like screwed them over, this team that they kind of feel like threw them to the wayside, maybe a little too early, maybe a little too soon, and is not looking so good in 2022 without him. But then You also had this from Perks, which was just an absolute banger. He said, I don't know, their new top laner didn't get solo killed 4 out of 5 games this time around at least. And I wish that Wunder would have replied to this, but I don't think he did reply. Maybe he quoted it or something, but I don't see anything here. And that's absolutely hilarious. That's talking about, when Wunder kind of got gapped last year against Adam up in the top lane in that final series where G2 had a chance to make it to Worlds. And yes, Wunder did not have a great year last year, especially into the playoffs. I don't think he played amazingly, and yes, in that series he also did not play amazingly, but I don't think that one bad year should have undone, what Wunder and a lot of these guys did for G2, and I've been saying, I don't think G2 had an amazing offseason. I think they got rid of a lot of these players way too soon. I think G2, starting to pay the price for a lot of this now. When we look back, everyone remembers 2021 G2 as this massive disaster, but in Spring Split, this team went 14-4. This team finished in first place. Reckless was your MVP. This was a damn good G2 team. This was as good of a G2 team, as ever, at least in the regular season. They went 14-4. They finished first place. They were very, very good. Now, obviously, there was a lot of talk of hey, are they going to go 18-0 or something like this? But, that didn't happen. And then we fast forward to the spring playoffs, and already in this playoffs, they don't start looking that amazing. They barely beat Schalke 3-2, but they do beat Schalke. They finish first place. They win their first playoff series. And then here you are in 2022, yes, G2 and Carlos, they've said, hey, this is going to be a little bit of a rebuild. We're trying to build for the future. But also Carlos has come out and said, he still thinks this team is amazing. He still thinks this team is as good as anyone in the LEC. He still thinks this team is as good as anyone in the world. So I think it's fair to compare what's going on right now, and it's just almost objectively worse. This team finished 11-7 in the regular season. They didn't go 14-4. They finished fourth place. They didn't finish first, and now we've seen them play their first playoff series in the spring, and they've lost that first series. So for all this flack that Wunder and Reckless and Mickey and all these guys got last year, even though Jankos and Caps, the two guys who stuck around, they weren't all that good last year either, it's just kind of weird. It's just kind of interesting to me that, yes, this 2022 version of G2 does not look as good. And I don't think that's very surprising to people, but it is kind of crazy that they just changed so much at once. They got rid of the entire coaching staff and support system. They got rid of Wunder. They got rid of Mickey. They got rid of Reckless. You don't think any of those players were worth hanging on to? You don't think any of those players could have helped you be a little bit better this season while also still picking up a young player to build for the future? Could you have gone with a Flockhead Mickey bot lane? Could you have gone with a Reckless Targamas? Could you have gone with, some different options or different things? Could you have kept the coaching staff and still had some of these new younger players? So many different things going on for G2 right now. And again, it does seem like obviously a lot of the former players are pretty happy to see this team taken down. And just, hey, I really appreciate the Twitter trash talk, the Twitter beef, all of this stuff. And again, it's not done yet. G2 and Vitality are facing off. Whoever wins, whoever loses, Carlos, Caps, Perks, there's going to be some more trash talk. And then whoever wins, they're going to continue on to the playoffs. And they're going to potentially match up with Fnatic, with Wunder, with, G2, Perks, whoever, all these guys. They're going to cross paths again, and we're going to get more of these exciting moments. And as we go on in the playoffs, these matchups and these games are going to mean more and more. At some point, it might even decide who's going on to MSI. But at the end of the day, Spring Split doesn't matter that much. Only one team's going to MSI. But looking forward, especially to the summer, if Vitality keeps ramping up, if Mad Lions makes some moves, if Fnatic's good again, if G2's good again, if Rogue's good again, summer in the LEC is going to be very, very fun. There's going to be a ton of huge egos, huge personalities, good teams vying for just 3 world spots. And man, that is going to be some very, very entertaining League of Legends, but also Twitter banter, Twitter news, all that good stuff. But I appreciate what we're seeing out in the world right now with the Wrecking Crew, Wunder dropping some bombs, Perks getting some big replies, Reckless showing up, Mickey showing up, all this good stuff. I'm definitely a fan. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Somebody drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about all this trash talk? Do you think Wunder's right? Do you think 2021 G2 is looking better than 2022? Do you like the direction the team's headed in? Do you think they should maybe have hung on to some of those guys a little bit longer? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date, and all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.